Tumaze tutawuli kwa pani nani Natuwabeshe baboka mwati nani Success, knowledge, tiye pali Bela kube, uwabako ni sensa
tutawa abantu
uwabako ni sensa
usakamana abantu
Hi, fam. The following video basically is about English language paper 1 and as an exam preparation under section A. English paper 1 comprises of section A and section B. When we talk about section A, we're going to have 5 questions where we're going only to answer on 1. And then considering section B, that's about compulsory questions, though that will only contain about 1 question. Our main area or focus under discussion is argumentative composition. This is a composition based on 2 sides of the statement where the writer, him or herself, will be able to be told to choose one side and be able to bring out points either to support or be able to disagree with the actual statement that has been given. A very good example is this one. The use of cell phones has brought more harm than good. Argue for or against this assertion. Assertion simply means a statement. The first and the foremost important tip, whenever you are writing a composition, you should always start with a title. A title of a composition will simply signify what each and every paragraph will be able to represent as a whole story in trying to see to it that you bring out the actual things that can attract the marker's interests. So, let's begin. So here I was saying the use of cell phones has brought more harm than good. To argue for, we need to understand this means to agree. Then to be against, that is to disagree. So to agree is to argue for, implying we are going to propose. Then to be against, that is to disagree, implying we are going to oppose. So meaning we are going to choose our side, but before choosing the side in order to either disagree or agree to a certain statement, make sure you have about 3 points you can use in order to ensure that you can paragraph your work. But most importantly, let's start with a title. So when making the title for an argumentative composition, we can be able to use the same statement. Since it is the motion under discussion, we can be able to turn it into a question so that we may be able to cite or be able to clearly state to an examiner or the reader of that actual exam, we can be able to put our answers in the side that we have taken. The use of cell phones has brought more harm than good. First important thing, look out for the verb. The verb can either be is or was. The verb can either be has or have. The verb can either be do or does. The verb can be other types, etc. So in this case, our verb is has. This verb should be able to come firstly in order to let this become a question. So we're going to firstly start with has. So I'm going to say has the use of cell phones. Has the use of cell phones brought more harm than good? Then we're going to put a question mark. Make sure you underline. Has the use of cell phones brought more harm than good? So in our first line of the paragraph here, we're going to clearly state the side we've taken. So, like in this case, if I feel the use of cell phones has brought more harm than good, such as many of the young youths have been able to have access to the internet or sites that can be able to create maybe an exposure to something irrelevant to maybe an upcoming youth, then I would probably go for arguing for. But if I still feel the phones are important in terms of how they can be able to place or play an important role in trying to make communication easier, I would probably go for against. So if I have chosen the yes part, I'm agreeing with everything there. So to signify paragraphing, I'm going to start with the word yes, and then I'm going to put an exclamation mark. That exclamation mark will signify the confidence I have in the way that I've chosen my side. But what's going to follow is to signify myself trying to present the actual points as to why I've chosen the exact side that I am writing under. So I'm going to say, yes, I agree to the above stated title with proper and meaningful reasons I am to explain below. So you can put it in this way. Yes, I agree to the above stated title with proper and meaningful reasons I am to explain below. That will be able to signify to an examiner that you've clearly stated your side and you are about to explain something supporting your side, thereby making your story very meaningful. As you will be writing a composition, be ready to understand that punctuation is everything, paragraphing is everything, network is everything, but most importantly, you shouldn't be able to undermine or underrate the importance of simple language. Simple language can easily be able to come up with. Simple language is something that you can easily be able to at least be able to connect from one sentence to another. So I say, yes, I agree to the above stated title with proper and meaningful reasons I am to explain below. To start our first main body paragraph, we are going to get inside the line by trying to say firstly, or we can say we start with, we're going to say use of cell phones has led to access of wrong sites on the internet, especially for young people or children. So we're going to say, to start with, use of cell phones has led to access of wrong sites on the internet, especially for young people or children. In the sense that there are those children or young people who are being able to have access to a phone, or who are being able to find themselves in a situation where they can have a phone even before turning 17. That will enable that particular child in order to have access to wrong sites due to some influences maybe at school or some bad advices maybe from other people that the child has been able to be found with. So to start with, use of cell phones has led to access of wrong sites on the internet, especially for young people or children. To continue, we're going to say in addition, or we're going to say secondly. We're going to say secondly, use of cell phones has contributed to seriousness in some students or learners who believes in Google than placing efforts in studies. Then in conclusion, remember I'm not writing the full composition. I'm just highlighting every important feature of what an argumentative composition can comprise. And this is about a title, an introductory paragraph, how to start your main body, connect to another point. So I believe if this is in an exam, you are going to fight for words between 250 and 350 words. Now, I'm going to show you how to conclude. So, when I'm going to say in conclusion, then you are going to be able to relate your points, just be able to lay out in terms of how you've been able to bring them out and connect to how best you're going to conclude, thereby saying, in conclusion, with all necessary points explained above, I can truly agree that use of cell phones has brought more harm than good. So I'm going to say in conclusion, with all necessary points explained above, I can truly agree that use of cell phones has brought more harm than good. Trying to go through what we've just written, it says, has the use of cell phones brought more harm than good? Yes, I agree to the above stated title. With proper and meaningful reasons I am to explain below. To start with, use of cell phones has led to access of wrong sites or in the internet, especially for young people or children. Secondly, use of cell phones has contributed to unseriousness in some students who believes in Google than placing self-efforts in studies. In conclusion, with unnecessary points explained above, I can truly agree that use of cell phones has brought more harm than good. This is how best you need to write a composition, not necessarily trying to relate to what I've written here. These are just features which would be relevant in order for you to ensure that at least you can write a proper composition. What would be relevant to consider much as you could be possibly involved in writing a composition and would want to emerge victoriously would be neatness, punctuation, paragraphing, and simple language for connectivity of words. Ensure that you believe in yourself, and that particular composition you will write in an exam will basically be one of the reasons as to why you will emerge victoriously. Always believe in yourself, believe you can do it, convince yourself, practice more until you keep on improving and become a better version of yourself. Till next time, for now, it's a goodbye.
Azetuto ulikopa ni nani? Natuwabeshe baboka mwatinani. Success, knowledge, tiye pali bela kube kwabo. Uwabako ni sensa.
Tutawa abantu.
Uwabako ni sensa.